Disclaimer: I doesn't claim any of the arts. All the picture shown belongs to the respective artist and company. If you are original owner and want me to remove the video, I will do it immediately. Just send me an email to inform me. And if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Chapter begins and we see that Kim attacks Orgel with his predation monster at the right moment, but Orgel stands there and receives the hit. When the predation monster collides with Orgel, a huge explosion occurs and a lot of energy is released, engulfing the entire castle. Therefore, Kim and Cody use the moment and escape from Orgel. We see Kim running at maximum speed, and at the end of the corridor he comes across some lizard guards. Kim, in a red flash, attacks and cuts them into pieces. As he runs, his thoughts begin to spiral, overtaking his focus completely, and he says to himself, "I barely managed to avoid Orgel's gaze. My goal isn't to fight that thing. Where are you, Ricky Harris?" Suddenly, Kim sees something in front of him that surprises him. He sees a glowing energy ball in the air. It seems to be one of Ricky's doing. Seeing that, Kim realizes it is one of Ricky's skills. That energy ball starts to move, showing Kim where he must go. Seeing that, Kim thinks, "Is she telling me to follow?" As Kim follows that energy ball, he sees more of those lizard guards. Upon seeing Kim, they start to panic and one of them says, "What the how did you get here?" As Kim approaches them, the sound of those creatures being torn apart can be heard. Then the scene changes and we see Ricky lying unconscious in a corner, hanging by her hands with chains. With shoes stained with the blood of the monsters, Kim slowly approaches her. Ricky barely opens her eyes and is happy to see Kim, saying, "You found me, Taehyun." Kim reaches her and seeing that she is still alive and well, feels relieved and smiles. He says to her, "I came to repay my debt, Ricky." As Kim frees Ricky from her chains, Ricky says to Kim while sitting on the ground, "Coming all the way to this dangerous place just to repay that. You really are something." With that, Kim replies, "A promise is a promise." Then Ricky asks Kim, "Where's Cody?" Kim answers, "Cody's probably searching for you from a different direction. I want to explain what happened, but we don't have much time. Looks like the Archduke is on the move. You know about the Archduke too?" Hearing Kim's words, Ricky responds, "Of course. I am still an investigator for the World Player Association, you know. The master of this castle, Archduke Orgel, his unfathomable mana, was more terrifying and monstrous than anything I've ever faced." Then hearing Ricky's words while his face is smeared with monster blood, Kim turns to her and says, "If you know that, you should also know we need to run fast. I stalled him a bit, but I don't know how long it will last. Can you walk?" Hearing Kim's words, she says while struggling to stand with Kim's help, "Unfortunately, my legs aren't working." Seeing her condition and hearing her words, Kim says, "I'll support you. Let's get out quickly." Then the scene changes, and we see that while Kim and Ricky are standing on a circular brick platform being pulled up by a chain attached to the middle, they try to get out of that area. Then Ricky looks at Kim with wonder and says, "You're amazing, really." Hearing her words, Kim is surprised and wonders why she is saying such things. Then Ricky continues, "Ever since Zhang Long's lab, even when I thought I was going to die each time, seeing you makes me believe we'll make it somehow. Thank you for coming to save me, Taehyun." Hearing Ricky's words and seeing her smile, Kim is relieved and smiles for a moment, thinking to himself that all the hardships are over. After they speak, they remain silent for a moment and take the elevator to the castle level. But suddenly, he hears Orgel's voice, which makes Ricky's eyes widen in surprise and fear of that Archduke. Orgel says, "Did you really think you could run from me?" Both Ricky and Kim look up from the elevator and see Orgel waiting for them above at the castle level. Seeing that monster, both Kim and Ricky think about what they must do now. Then, as Orgel looks menacingly with his glowing red eyes, he says, "For a hunk of meat, you had decent mana comprehension. Almost made you a candidate as a spare. With a hostage involved, it was obvious where you'd go." Therefore, Kim grits his teeth and says to himself, "Fine, I can understand why you came chasing. But I hit him with my most powerful attack. How did he survive?" Then, as Kim is thinking, Orgel surprises him by saying, "Even after being hit with Devour, come now, intruder." With that, Kim realizes something and gritting his teeth says, "That power of origin, try using it on me again. Not a single wound." With that, Kim uses his predation and creates a huge predation monster with it and attacks Orgel head-on. But as the predation monster reaches Orgel, he stops it with just his empty hands. Seeing this, Kim makes the predation monster bigger and stronger, uses more mana and infuses it with more predation, but with just his hand, Orgel stops the predation monster and it doesn't move an inch. Orgel says, "So my eyes weren't mistaken after all. This power is unmistakably the king's." And with his claws, he tears and destroys the predation monster, saying, though still far beneath what the true king possessed. With the predation monster destroyed, Kim activates his red wings and tries to attack Orgel through the air. As his eyes look dead serious at Orgel, he thinks to himself, even if Devour doesn't work. As he reaches Orgel, Kim activates his blood swords and attacks Orgel, manifesting multiple red blood swords and throwing them at him. But as Kim's blood swords hit Orgel because of his hard skin, they either break or stick to his skin. Orgel says, "That's Igmund's authority." Seeing that his attack does no damage, Kim rushes towards Orgel using his wings, grows his claws, and goes for a slash. Seeing Kim coming towards him head-on, Orgel smiles menacingly and gets ready for his attack. Then, as Kim is in the air, he activates his Dragon's Wrath, which emits an aura enhanced by mana. Due to the bright light created by Kim's skill, Orgel loses his sight for a moment, and Kim takes advantage of this opportunity. He uses his claws to inflict a sterile blow on Orgel with a sharp scratch. While purple blood flows from Orgel's wound, he says without any regard for it, "That's a powerful aura. That must be the Dragon Lord's authority." Then Kim activates another skill, Beast Transformation, which morphs his body into a beast form. Using it, Kim transforms his right arm into a giant, red, sharp monster arm. With a devastating punch, he attacks Orgel. The sound and shockwave of Kim's fist are so loud that they shake the entire hall. Tremors radiate from Orgel's back, and this blow manages to bend him slightly. Yet Orgel says as if nothing happened, "Even my authority." Seeing Kim's attempt to defeat Orgel, Ricky is overwhelmed and thinks to herself, "I can't believe it, that a human can fight an archduke like that. Kim Taehyun, just what are you?" While Kim is retracting his fist, Orgel suddenly grabs Kim's monstrous hand, stopping its movement. Orgel smiles softly and then slowly begins to laugh. His laughter grows louder and louder until it fills the entire hall, leaving Kim surprised and frightened by his behavior. Then, as Orgel looks at Kim with his menacing red glowing eyes, he says, "This is fun, so fun. I haven't felt this way in ages, wielding others' powers, just like the king. It's been nearly 7 years since the king vanished. My sole aim was to fight the strongest, but after he disappeared, the days have been nothing but dull. It's been far too long. Finally, I can really throw down again." Orgel tightens his grip on Kim's monstrous hand with brutal force, then in a single sharp move dislodges it violently, sending blood splattering everywhere. Kim's eyes widen in shock. He doesn't know what to do now. Seeing this, Ricky panics and shouts Kim's name, trying to stress him until he regains his composure. Kim then continues to fight with all his might, using all his skills. Orgel throws Kim aside with his severed hand and says with a proud smile, "Show me everything you've got, O Key of the King." Kim pulls himself back, gritting his teeth in frustration, thinking, "Devour even the other Archduke's powers. None of them are working." As Kim pulls himself back, Orgel, with glowing red eyes, suddenly rushes toward Kim and attacks. While Orgel is just a few steps away, Kim reviews his latest plan to defeat Orgel. "Now the only option I have left is this one thing." Kim screams as Orgel's fist is just inches away. "Come forth, Risseria." At that moment, time stops for a few seconds and the environment turns purple. Risseria's eyes appear, preparing for her arrival. With an explosion, she appears, her tentacles forming a large ball. Upon seeing the massive tentacle ball, Risseria slowly pulls her tentacles aside, revealing herself, and stands in front of Orgel to confront him while protecting Kim. Seeing Risseria in front of him, Orgel says, annoyed, "Risseria, the king's most loyal retainer, has arrived." "Kim, Wounded and exhausted from his injuries and dripping with cold sweat, is happy to see Risseria and says, "I was hoping I could end this without summoning you this time." Risseria looks at Kim and sees his bad condition. She then turns and with her glowing red eyes, activates her pink aura and goes face to face with Orgel. The entire room shakes due to the immense mana pressure they both release. And with that, this chapter ends. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Support this channel by liking this video and subscribing the channel. And if you want me to recap another manhwa or manga, write its name on comment section. And if want to know what happened in previous chapter, you can watch them in this YouTube channel.